Mike Tyson is more than just a boxer. He is a legend, a myth, a warning sign, and proof of how close genius and self-destruction can be. But his story didn't start in sold-out arenas or under bright lights. It started in the dark, unforgiving streets of Brownsville, Brooklyn. Michael Jared Tyson was born on June 30th, 1966. He grew up surrounded by violence, poverty, and fear. From a very young age, Tyson learned that weakness was dangerous. He was small, shy, and had a noticeable speech impediment, which made him an easy target for bullies. Day after day, he was beaten, mocked, and humiliated. Those experiences didn't fade with time. They buried themselves deep inside him. Fear and anger became constant companions. To survive, Tyson learned to fight back. The streets became his classroom. Violence became his language. By his early teens, he was already involved in crime. Robberies, arrests, trouble with the law. His future seemed painfully predictable, prison or worse. Then at the age of 13, everything changed. Tyson was sent to a juvenile reformatory. It was there that he first put on boxing gloves. And it was there that he met the man who would change his life forever, Cus D'Amato. D'Amato was not just a boxing trainer, he was a philosopher, a mentor, and a deeply complex man. The moment he saw Tyson fight, he knew he was witnessing something rare. Not just raw power, but controlled aggression waiting to be shaped. D'Amato believed Tyson could become the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. More importantly, he believed he could save him. Cus D'Amato took Tyson into his home. He gave him structure, discipline, and a sense of purpose. He taught him that fear was not an enemy. Fear was fuel. If controlled, it could be transformed into focus, confidence, and dominance. Under D'Amato's guidance, Tyson developed his iconic fighting style. Constant head movement, explosive footwork, devastating combinations of hooks and uppercuts thrown with terrifying speed. Every movement had meaning. Every punch was calculated. Boxing became more than a sport. It became Tyson's identity. In 1985, at just 18 years old, Mike Tyson turned professional. What followed shocked the boxing world. Fight after fight ended in brutal knockouts. Many opponents looked defeated before the first bell even rang. Tyson didn't just win, he destroyed. On November 22, 1986, history was made. At only 20 years old, Mike Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history, a record that still stands today. Within months, he unified the heavyweight division and became the undisputed champion of the world. He was unstoppable, feared, revered. Mike Tyson became a global phenomenon. Money poured in. Fame followed everywhere he went. He was portrayed as the most dangerous man on the planet. But behind the image of invincibility, cracks were forming. Cus D'Amato had passed away in 1985. He never lived to see Tyson reach the very top. And without him, Tyson was lost. D'Amato had been more than a trainer. He was a father figure, a moral compass, and the one person who truly controlled Tyson's inner chaos. Without that guidance, discipline slowly disappeared. Training became inconsistent. Parties replaced preparation. Drugs and alcohol became regular companions. Tyson surrounded himself with people who said yes to everything and challenged nothing. His marriage to actress Robin Givens became a public spectacle. Interviews, accusations, and scandals dominated headlines. The aura of the unstoppable champion began to fade. Then came February 11th, 1990. Mike Tyson stepped into the ring against James "Buster" Douglas. Douglas was a massive underdog. Almost nobody believed he stood a chance. But Tyson was unfocused, unprepared, and vulnerable. Douglas fought the fight of his life. He controlled the distance. He landed clean punches. Tyson looked confused, exhausted, and human. In the 10th round, the unthinkable happened. Mike Tyson was knocked out. The world stood still. The undefeated champion had fallen. It was one of the greatest upsets in sports history, and it marked the beginning of Tyson's downfall. Tyson tried to reclaim his former glory. He won fights again. He regained a heavyweight title, but the fear he once instilled was gone. Something inside him had broken. In 1992, his life collapsed completely. Mike Tyson was convicted of rape and sentenced to 6 years in prison. He served nearly 3. For many fans, this was the end of the story. But Tyson returned. After his release, he stepped back into the ring. He still had power, he still drew massive crowds, but mentally he was unstable. The chaos inside him had never been resolved. In 1997, during his rematch with Evander Holyfield, everything spiraled out of control. Frustrated and overwhelmed, Tyson committed one of the most infamous acts in sports history. He bit off a piece of Holyfield's ear. The fight was stopped immediately. Tyson was disqualified, and his reputation was permanently damaged. From that moment on, he was no longer seen as just a boxer. He became a tragic figure, a man who had everything and lost control of it all. The years that followed were painful. Losses in the ring, legal problems, and financial collapse. Despite earning hundreds of millions of dollars, Mike Tyson filed for bankruptcy in 2003. But this is not where his story ends. In recent years, Tyson has shown a different side of himself, more reflective, more honest. He speaks openly about his childhood trauma, his addiction, and his mistakes. He acknowledges the damage he caused and the opportunities he wasted. Today, Mike Tyson is a cultural icon. He appears in movies, podcasts, and interviews, not as the terrifying champion he once was, but as a man who survived his own demons. His story is not just about boxing. It is about what happens when talent grows faster than maturity, when power comes without guidance, and when fear is never truly confronted. Mike Tyson's greatest battles were never fought in the ring. They were fought within himself, and that is why his story will never be forgotten.